Okay, started. September 3rd, 2024.
All right, thank you for joining us for the East Aurora Village Board meeting for Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024. If you could please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. If I can get roll call attendance, please.
Trustee Lizickis. Trustee Cameron. Trustee Vijay.
Here.
Trustee Flynn.
Here.
Trustee Raby.
Here.
Trustee Shear.
Here.
Mayor Mercurio.
Present.
5 present, 2 absent.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the Village Board meeting for August 13, 2024?
I'll make a motion to approve them with amendments.
Moved by Grace with an amendment. Does she say the amendments now or after the second?
I can say them now.
That's her
You
motion.
could do it now, that way when they make.
They know
the
what they're
second,
seconding, right?
the second.
All right, what do you got?
The motion by trustee Lizickis referred to the planning commission September 10th for the special use permit for 640 Main Street Lower, Andrew Kraus Hop and Hemp Teal. The last sentence of that is grammatical nightmare. We could just update it. It says, the applicant asked if they application could still proceed, and they attorney noted that allowing them to proceed was not giving implicit approval.
Yeah.
So we just update that to,
Yep.
Oh, maybe that's what he said.
well, I don't think that was it.
I would
Maureen?
change it, I would change it anyways.
So we can just amend it to proper grammar?
Do you want me to read it how it should be?
Yeah, if you got it.
Yeah, if you
go
got
ahead.
it, that's great.
The applicant asked if the application could still proceed, and the attorney noted that allowing them to proceed would not give them implicit approval.
There you go. I get a second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion for the approval of the payment of abstract 2024-2025 fiscal year for voucher numbers 65105 to 65157 for a total of $70,011.06?
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second.
Second by Ernie. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. Can I get a motion to approve the payment of abstract 2024-2025 fiscal year for voucher numbers 65158 to 65196 for a total of $260,054.86?
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. First speakers in communications, anybody who has a topic they'd like to vocalize, please raise your hand and we'll recognize, come on up, give us your name and address, and tell us what your issue is. You'll have a second opportunity at the end of the meeting. Anybody? All right, moving on. We have no public hearings, official considerations. Can I get a motion to approve a local law amending Chapter 177-1 of the Village Code, use of public parks?
This was tabled. We're making a motion, or is it still open?
Was it tabled? I don't know. If it's still tabled,
If it's tabled, you have to bring it off the table first.
to discuss it, right?
Right.
Kristen.
So what do you need, a motion to bring it off the table?
Yes.
Can I get a motion to bring it off the table?
Yes. So moved.
Molly, second.
Second.
Jeff, further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. It is off the table. And then do we need a motion to approve it to actually discuss it?
Yes.
All this procedural stuff.
Sorry.
All right, can I get a motion to approve the local law amending Chapter 177-1 of the Village Code, use of public parks?
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second.
Second.
Second by Kristen. Further discussion. I
have-
feel like it's kind of disjointed, and I feel like
I have
we could rewrite it a little cleaner.
I have a couple comments.
Please do.
Okay.
So, the meeting minutes discuss how we were supposed to rewrite it, and it did not get rewritten that way. So,
Unfortunately, I didn't have the.
Yeah, I know. So I guess I could make this a little easier for us if we want. Okay, so the time should be the same as the original code. I can read it how I rewrote it based on what we talked about the last meeting if you want.
Yeah, you have it based on the minutes?
Based on the minutes we wrote, the board discussed the law as it stood and changes that they wanted to see with it. In the end, the park hours can remain the same. The tennis exception that they would like to see removed and all sport courts opening from 8 to 8:30.
I do remember the 8 to 8:30 part of the conversation.
So the original code is 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. September through May, and then 10 p.m. for the rest. And then it should be all sport courts should not be used before 7 a.m. or after 8 p.m. at any time. Right, is that the one? Or 8 a.m., it says 8:30 p.m.
We've got the 8:30, so it's,
Chris, do you just want to wipe it clean, use the minutes, and rewrite it in a more succinct fashion
let's see if there's something.
based on the
else.
minutes?
Yeah, that's easy enough to do.
The minutes were simple, yeah.
The reference, what we have to do is change it from 7 a.m. to 6 a.m., make the reference to 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m. We have the 8:30 p.m. already.
For pickleball?
And then the question is, the pickleball courts.
Well,
Nothing different, all sports court.
All courts
All
were 8
sports
to
courts.
8:30, right?
yeah.
Yeah, consistency, so the officers are able to it's just consistent. You don't have to think about it.
I can read you how I rewrote it if you want.
You just send it to me and I'll put it right in
So-
there.
Okay.
So, Grace, just what, it was September to May, 6 to 9, and then
Right.
June through
May through
August,
September till 10 p.m., 6 to 10.
6 to 10.
Yep. Can I just read it? Then everyone can hear what
Right, but it
says.
can't be May and May. It has to be either,
There's numbers.
oh, okay, yep.
Hours to be present in such parks, public park prior to 6 a.m. or later than 9 p.m. from September 16th through May 14th, and 10 p.m. from May 15th through September 15th, unless they're therefore a regularly scheduled activity of the Town of Aurora Recreation Department. Further provided that no person shall be in the playground area of Hamlin Park during the hours of darkness. For purposes of this section, the words "hours of darkness" shall be the period of time from 1/2 hour after sunset until 1/2 hour before sunrise. The sports courts shall not be used before 8 a.m. or after 8:30 p.m. at any time.
And does it actually say you can't be in the park?
Yes.
That's 6 a.m. till 9 p.m.
Where does it
or
actually say
10.
that?
The first line.
It says to be present in any such park.
Right.
Yep.
That's just being in the park.
So just saying that's when you can be present instead of saying you're not allowed in the park at certain times.
Yeah, because then you're not allowed to be present.
Can't be present.
Yes.
All right. You want to just rewrite it for the next meeting?
Sure.
Is there an urgency to it? Use Gracie's notes in the
Yep.
meeting minutes? Anybody have anything to add to it?
It'll be after September 16th, but doesn't really matter, I
I don't
guess.
think it matters at this point. Yeah, it's all right.
So, what do you got to do, retable it? Chris? I got to move to table this until September, are you going to have it by September 16th?
Oh, yeah.
September 16. Can I get a move to table this until September 16?
Can I have another comment?
Yes?
Should we reopen this as a public hearing since we've made so many changes, or
We really haven't made that many changes from what it was
Okay.
originally. We just tweaked it a little.
just checking?
So, you know, you can if you want, you don't need to.
Yeah, I'd really get it changed. Go from there.
Motion to table?
Yeah, I'll move to table it.
Kristen, second?
Second.
Second by Jeff. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? It is tabled again. 4B, can I get a motion for permission for the Code Enforcement Office to proceed with judicial action on 845 Main Street, Patrick Hanley, for a building permit violation for outstanding inspections?
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion for the permission for the mayor to sign off on agreeing with the Historic Preservation Commission that 866 Main Street applicant Jeffrey and Karen Hintz should be added to the State National Register of Historic Places.
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second.
Second.
Second by Kristen. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve a resolution to repair the DPW low roof as an emergency for the roofing company Action Roofing, $60,500.
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second.
Second?
Second by Ernie. Further discussion? Matt, you want to just summarize that, please?
Since the tornado we had, we've noticed that the roof has been leaking a lot more than it has in the past. The inability to patch it because the membrane is stretched. Because the roofing membrane is stretched, it's now essentially perforated, and then the water collecting underneath the roof membrane has started to cause the decking to deteriorate, and it's starting to increase ponding and hold more water, which is adding more weight, which is causing it to deteriorate even further.
So what are they going to be doing exactly?
Excuse me?
So what are they going to be doing exactly?
They're going to do a tear off and repair any of the bad decking and re-roof it.
Thank you.
Can we do any insurance claim for that, since it was the result of the weather event?
I can call the company, but I don't think so based on what. I'll find out.
It's a good idea.
Yeah.
We're paying our, right, we're paying our fees for insurance.
Paying the
Let's see if we
premiums
can
for a
use it.
reason, yep.
All right, moved by Grace, second by Ernie. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. E, permission for the mayor to, can I get a motion for permission for the mayor to sign a state liquor authority land authorization form for Griffin Gastropub to participate in the Taste of East Aurora serving liquor?
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Kristen. Further discussion?
Do you want me to review it?
Sure.
Taste of East Aurora already has their permit for their event, and in their permit, it was approved to have one alcoholic beverage per tent. So this is the two that need a liquor license, and we would have to sign off because it's on our land.
All right, moved by Jeff, second by Kristen. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve permission for the mayor to sign a state liquor authority land authorization form for Riley Street Station to participate in the Taste of East Aurora event serving liquor.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second?
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for 31 South Grove Street, applicant Alan Nowicki, Redcroft Campus Fall Festival, October 5 and 6, 2024, from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m.
So moved.
Moved by Ernie, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Any other discussion? Does the applicant have anything he wants to add? No? You had something in the application about the parking lots, but it's just your parking lots, right, that are being closed?
Just our, yeah, just the 3 parking lots.
Okay,
Will be
so,
temporarily closed.
okay, all right. All right, any other discussion from the board? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve a temporary use permit for Buffalo Autism Project, applicant Brian Moeller, for Crawloween, October 19th, 2024, from 2 to 8 p.m.
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? The applicant have anything he wants to add?
Not unless you have any questions.
Anybody have any questions for him? You've run a nice, clean event for a good cause to date, so thank you for that.
Yeah. Early enough in the day that you don't usually see the kinds of problems you might see at later events.
Any other discussion? Moved by Jeff, second by Grace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to refer to the Planning Commission for October 1st, the amended special use permit for the bar at Main and Hamlin, applicant Andrew Miller and Joe Morcello at 198 Main Street, to include hours of operation, TV and music on patio and enclosed patio during colder months.
So moved.
Moved by Molly, second.
Second?
Second by Ernie. Further discussion?
I'd move to just schedule a public hearing. I don't think this needs to go to planning.
Yeah,
We
it
can
seems
skip it. We can skip planning if we want.
I'm in favor of that.
Anybody have an issue with that?
No.
Chris?
Legally, you can.
Right. I mean, they've
It's just
already,
gonna- Yeah,
they've already
This is
been
a-
before us for special use permits. They're just tweaking.
This is amendment, it's an amendment.
Yeah, right.
right.
Well, they're, as, and I met with the owners, and they're just, what they'd like to have, as they wrote in the application, they sent it to us, they just want to have the ability to open for those hours if there's a, school break or something like that, that they can.
It's no different than the hours around them, the other businesses around there.
Yeah.
Everybody good with it? Andy, you the applicant? Do you want to add a table to that row of 2 tables on the patio closest to the building on the east side?
Yeah.
You don't have to put the table there, but the other owner told me he'd like to add it
Yeah.
to this application. And so,
Utilize it, we'd like to add
Yeah.
it, so I can update that.
Yeah, get it to us before the public hearing.
Yeah.
thank you. How far out do we set the public hearing? A
It's
month?
going to be the second October meeting, which would be the October 21st? No. Yes, maybe?
Yeah.
October
21st,
21st.
yeah.
Yes.
All right. So right now,
So you-
we have a motion to refer to the planning commission. So Molly and Ernie, Molly, do you want to rescind your motion?
I do.
Okay, and Ernie, you're rescinding your second, I take it?
Yeah, I guess, if this is the proper way to do it, I just give these guys credit for coming in and wanting to do it correctly, go through the process, even though they have to with, the outside TVs and everything, but, they've been upfront with us, and they've always been what they said they are. They're a very well-run establishment. And, I don't know if Andy, is this going to cause you guys problems to not be able to have the TVs going right away when we start a football season?
This is making it
We're
go
we're
faster.
speeding it up.
We're speeding it up.
This is making it faster.
Yeah,
Instead of going to planning commission and then the public hearing?
Yeah.
We're skipping the planning commission and going right to the
Right to the
public.
Right,
public hearing,
okay.
They can't have it before.
okay,
That should save them.
yeah.
Yeah, at
okay,
least a
good.
couple of weeks.
They'll save them time. All right, never mind.
Okay, so you're rescinding your second, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Grace, you want to make your motion?
Make a motion to schedule the public hearing for
10:21?
10:21.
Second.
Moved by Grace, second by Jeff. Further discussion? Chris, anything else we need to add to that motion? We good?
Good.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? I get a motion to approve a peddler solicitor permit for Michael Yo to operate a horse-drawn carriage. Anybody want to make that motion? This is the guy who has done it in the past, right? He took over for,
He has had this, he took over for the last operator. He's been getting permits. We haven't had any issues with him since he's been the owner.
I'll make the motion.
moved by Ernie.
I'll second.
Second by Kristen. Further discussion?
We're getting any complaints, or
I
is
like
it?
that long pause.
No, I was giving out, this only changed due to the fact that we changed the law that says if you carry alcohol, you have to come before the board. So he was getting his permit every 3 months, and I have not received any complaints in that time frame. I did check with the chief just to make sure, and he hadn't received any either.
Okay.
Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to appoint Nick Williams to the position of laborer for the DPW to start on or after September 4th, 2024.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? Matt, you want to add anything? Nick Williams, laborer?
We had one of our laborers move on to another position at another company recently, which left us with one laborer and 2 laborers, actually. Now we're looking to fill the last 2 remaining spots.
Thank you. All right. Moved by Kristen, second by Grace. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to appoint Zach Parrish to the position of laborer for the DPW to start on or after September 16, 2024.
Motion?
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to approve Christian Desiderio as a member of the East Rural Fire Department to start on or after September 4th, 2024.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. We appreciate Christian. I get a motion to approve a budget adjustment for the 2024-2025 fiscal year.
So moved.
Moved by Grace, second by
Second.
Molly. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. I get a motion to grant permission for the mayor to sign an updated contract with Equiture for our recording system for $5,322.33 per year.
So moved.
Moved by Kristen, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion?
That's the recording system used in the dispatch to record the phones and the radio system. We did have some problems with it once we changed the new phones, and it's just gotten worse, so we needed to do this upgrade.
Any other discussion from the board? Moved by Kristen, second by Grace. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved. No new business, old business, Pine and Warren Crosswalk. Chief?
Yes, for Pine and Warren, the Safety Committee met, and with the recommendation of the County Engineer's Office that Superintendent Hay advised that next year they're going to do a reconstruction of Pine Street, and the county did offer that they did not think a crosswalk there was necessary or needed. They wanted to know from us if we wanted to put one in. Meeting with Superintendent Hay and Fire Chief Dens, we went, there has not been any accidents there in the last 5 years where they're asking at Warren and Pine or at Pine and Fillmore. And right now, there might be an increase in pedestrian traffic at Warren, but that should be alleviated by the bridge being rebuilt at Fillmore. And within the recommendations of what would create the necessity of a crosswalk, that intersection right now, we don't feel, based on our research, that there is a reason to put one in there. So at this point, the committee would recommend no crosswalk be added to either Fillmore or Warren Drive at Pine Street. This can be looked at again as the county, gets ready to do their construction next year. Trustee Vigier met with me on something different today and advised that there are going to be bump outs in this new construction. So I guess we can talk about it at that point, but as of right now, we'd recommend no action.
Yeah, we discussed, after construction's all done, they're already doing a curb cut for the crosswalk where you would cross at Warren. If we find after all this construction is done and complete and we see how it lays out, maybe it's a different situation, but at this point, we'll just continue with how it is.
All right. Thanks, Chief. Anybody have any questions for Chief? Anybody want to do anything different than what he proposes? All right. Gerard Crosswalk.
So the Girard Crosswalk is also, if I'm not mistaken, a request for a four-way stop and that's at Whaley and Girard. The committee met also on this. There is a crosswalk there. It wasn't there for a little bit because they had repaved Girard, but the signs remained. The DPW did repaint that crosswalk, so there is a crosswalk crossing Girard at Whaley currently. As far as a four-way stop is concerned, we went back, looked at the data. Has not been one single traffic accident at that intersection in the last 5 years. No data indicates that there's an issue there. I did stop over there, check the sight lines. The vegetation had kind of gotten out of hand on railroad property. I talked with the foreman at the DPW, and he was able to have a couple of his laborers cut that back so you can actually see down into the viaduct from those stop signs now, and that makes it much safer. Again, the committee on this recommended that the crosswalk is sufficient in itself and that a four-way stop there is not necessary.
Thank you, Chief.
On top of that, the speed monitoring device has been placed over there, and I will gather about 10 to 15 days worth of speed data to see if we have a speed issue there. But as of it stands right now, we don't recommend a four-way stop.
But you're going to do some further data collection.
We're going to check the speeds and see what we have there. Fisher Price has gone, has drastically reduced their workforce, and that used to be the Girard Highway at lunch break. It's no longer as much of a problem, so I'm anticipating to see that we don't have as much of an issue there as we maybe once did.
Thank you, Chief. Anybody have any questions for Chief Welch? Anybody want to do anything different than what he recommended? All right, taking that off old business. Second, speakers and communications. Anybody has a topic they want to discuss, raise your hand. When recognized, come on up and tell us what's going on. Hello.
Hi. Oh, I gotta lower this.
You can do your name and address.
Short
That'd be
girl.
great.
Hi, I'm Patty Meckes, and I'm from Cawtile, and that's Citizens Against Wind Turbines in Lake Erie. Thank you for the opportunity to let me speak real quick. I do have a quick handout. I can hand it to you while I start talking.
You can give it to me.
Give it to our clerk, and she'll pass it
One
around.
for supervisor. Thank you. Citizens Against Wind Turbines is a group, grassroots group, proactive group, and we've gotten together. We've been together about 14 years. Our mission is to preserve and protect Lake Erie, and we are a proactive group, meaning that the fact that we do not feel that wind turbines ever belong in the lake. There's been two NYSERDA reports, one in 2010, one in 2022, and in 2022 it said, wind turbines are not feasible in the lake at this time. Both NYSERDA reports, 10 years apart, were the same. But when they said not at this time, we know that New York State never stops at anything once they make up their mind to do something. So we got involved. We spoke to several towns. I've been going town to town, board to board, village to village. And the town of Hamburg, February 26, passed the first resolution opposing wind turbines in Lake Erie. The reason for us going town to town and village to village is to ask for the consensus to get all of Erie County and all of Chautauqua County to stand together. Currently, in Erie County, there are 23 municipalities that have passed resolutions. In Chautauqua, 21 that have passed. It is also in the Erie County Legislature in the Environmental Committee, and in Chautauqua, it's in the hands of the attorney right now. They're at the end stages drafting a resolution, which they may pass that later in September. Now you ask, why do I come to East Aurora? We're not right here on the lake shore. Many of your village people are boaters, fishermen, just like the lake. They go down and enjoy it. When I go down to, we have a boat, and we go down to Buffalo Harbor or the Erie Basin Marina. As you walk along, you'll see the boats, and they'll have their cool different names on them. And then they put underneath the town that they come from. And so many of them are from East Aurora. So a resolution opposing wind turbines would help our residents because it wouldn't take away from their recreation. It's also, for the boating, there's a 3,200 feet no-go zone, which means that boat travel, commercial and recreational, cannot weave in and out between. It will make the travel on the lake very difficult. So it would impede boat travel on our lake. Number one reason that we are opposing this, it's our drinking water. 11 million people get their drinking water from Lake Erie. So if we dredge those cable lines that would go from shore to 2 to 8 miles out on into the water, it's going to dredge up all the heavy metal toxins that have been settled over the last 50 years. As you remember, our lake was considered dead at one point. At least when I was a kid, it was pretty bad, and you couldn't swim in it, and you couldn't eat the fish. Wind turbines leak oil. They have to have oil changes just like a car. The blades that go along, if you can think of your flag being out for a long time, and it's like this, and after a year or two, it sheds. Well, these wind turbines shed PFAS, and it's not, they get into our drinking water and they cannot be filtered. So Contile is proactive. We do not want the taxpayers to bear any burden of cost at any time. We're looking to stop this before a project starts. Electricity is going up now. California is an example. The costs are triple or more. And on September 5th, this Thursday coming up, Governor Hochul is having a conference at the summit in Albany. The Climate Act, the CLCPA is falling apart. Their goals are unachievable, and this is why she's entertaining a conference. The topic of discussion is nuclear, the future. So the idea of wind and solar are not sustainable, and New York is realizing these unrealistic goals. So Contile here today is to ask the village to consider a resolution standing with the rest of the Erie County and Chautauqua County, along with the county ledge. And I just want to be proactive, and thank you for giving me the time to speak. I appreciate it.
No, thank you for the information, and
Does anyone have any
do
questions?
you have any questions for her now, or is it something we can review on our own and discuss at a later date if we so deem?
Just to let you know, I did just kind of get started with the villages, Blaisdell, North Collins, and, oh gosh, there's one more that just passed. But the villages have just started, so.
You're saying Blaisdell, North Collins?
Blaisdell, North Collins, and I have one more, and I
You said
can't.
Hamburg in February, right?
Hamburg was the town. I do have a map.
You can always email it to me.
Yeah, you can say.
Okay.
That's fine, yeah.
But yeah, there are 3 villages that have passed so far. Village of Angola, that's it. All right, thank you so much.
Thanks, Patty. Anyone else have an issue they'd like to come up and address?
Mark Wolflin, 475 Center Street. I'd
Mark.
just like to add a little bit to the wind turbines in the lake. I do get my drinking water on Center Street from Lake Erie, and I think it's overreached by the people downstate and Albany that are forcing these turbines into our lake and our water supply. And I think we should add our voices to the rest of the towns in western New York to oppose these wind turbines. So just to let you know, somebody local here in town is familiar with the issue, and I support the lady that was up here before me. So please consider it. Thanks.
Very good. Thank you, Mark. Hello. Come on up.
Hi, my name is Mary Henson. I live in the town of Aurora for 34 years. I live at 316 Palmender Square. This past July 13th, it was a calm, sunny day. Just one offshore turbine blade in the Vineyard Wind project broke and dropped 60 tons of fiberglass shards, styrofoam, and toxic PFAS, that's polyfluoroalkyl forever chemical, that is in the epoxy in the turbine blade, into the Atlantic Ocean, closing Nantucket beaches. The debris is spreading and getting pulverized into smaller and smaller pieces in the waves. The mainstream news is protecting their interests, and they're not reporting it. This is not a rare event. Breakages and fires are common. There was a turbine fire in Rexville, New York last year, and it has left agricultural land contaminated, and there have been broken blades in the turbines in Wyoming County. It is bad enough to now have the fiberglass and the PFAS in the food chain and in our seafood. Is it wise to have these breakable, oil-containing toxic machines permanently installed in Lake Erie, in our water supply? The state of New York is pushing offshore wind electricity even harder, and they are bypassing proper environmental reviews. East Aurora, please join the 23-plus counties in Erie County towns and safeguard our fresh water and lake with a moratorium against wind turbines in Lake Erie. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mary. Anyone else have a topic they'd like to address? All right, closing second speakers and communications, moving on to department head report. Chief Welch.
The long-awaited surveillance camera trailer that we were able to purchase with the technology grant are arriving Thursday. So we're looking forward to getting that and starting to use that. The car show this past month went well. There was no issues reported. Events coming up. Taste is planned by the police department and DPW cooperatively. And our new police cars are in. They're striped, and the changeover will be occurring soon. Crossing guards and school resource officers are in place for the start of school on Thursday. And I believe that's all I had. Outside of regular daily activities and investigations, everything's going well.
Very good. Thank you, Chief. Matt?
There's going to be a slight delay in the paving of the two parking lots at Hamlin Park. Those are scheduled to be done before the end of the month. That's all I have.
Good, thank you, Matt. Rich?
Nothing to add to this evening, thank you.
Shane?
I'm getting prepared. We've whittled down the engineer list for interviews down to 3 or 4 companies, and I'm going to start reaching out to them and setting up some interviews.
Thank you, Shane. Maureen?
I'm digging out from vacation.
Maybe if you didn't take any more vacation.
Wow.
All right. Thank you, Maureen. Kristen?
Nothing tonight, thanks.
Ernie?
Thank you to the fire department and the police department for allowing for the New Orleans parade for my good friend Dave Nojam for his remembrance memory parade. I guess I don't know what to call it, just a
Celebration of life?
celebration of life. And so it went very well. Thank you for doing that. And that's it.
Thank you, Ernie. Jeff?
Nothing. Thanks, Pete.
All right. Molly?
I'm all set this evening, thank you.
Grace?
Nope. I have something. Last meeting, Chris said he'd give us an update on the cannabis situation with the two being next to each other by this meeting. My concern is still having planning board review it if it's not something they should be reviewing.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, I didn't bring the materials with me because I got sick again. It is not, I got a call from Randy West about the exact same thing in terms of whether or not they should be doing it and the concern. Because the first company has not yet been approved, the conditions were such that
I don't think we put conditions because the licensing wasn't up to us, right?
Yeah, we discussed it. I don't remember if we did.
yeah, but the problem is they don't have a license yet.
Right.
Therefore,
Right, but they're approved. It's not up to us if they have a license or not.
yeah, but they can't open and operate unless they have a license.
Right. So what is our grounds to take away their permit?
You're not taking away their permit, you're simply granting someone else a permit.
But per our code, we cannot do that because it's within 500 feet.
Well, no, they can have a permit to go somewhere else if there's another location.
Our permit includes your address.
Correct.
Within 500 feet.
So how do we approve two locations within 500 feet of each other and then
Because
pull it back from one of them, which we'd have to do?
you're pulling it back, I think we had
Second,
decided to
from the
put
second
them on
one.
notice to have them come in to discuss the matter, and that, at that point, it can be addressed.
Would you pull the second permit?
The problem is they don't have a permit, they're not permitted to operate in the state of New York.
But we gave them a permit without, it doesn't matter if they have a license or not. We gave them a permit to open.
And they can't open.
Okay.
By operation
I
of law,
just,
they
I don't
cannot
want to get
open.
sued, and I'm very
Well, I can't
uncomfortable
guarantee you're not
with
gonna
this
be sued.
whole
The
situation
problem
right
is-
now.
The problem is, the other company has a permit already.
Okay. But that's not up to us, you know what I mean? Like, the licensing isn't up to us, so we
Can't
gave them a
guarantee you're not gonna get
permit.
sued. You're going to get
Okay.
sued perhaps by one of the two of them. Because the second one's got to go in front of the planning commission anyway.
Okay. I'm just stating for the record, I'm very uncomfortable with this situation. I would prefer that we had this fully understood before we proceeded.
You're not proceeding yet.
I know.
We did send the notice.
It's going
Yeah, you
to
sent the
planning
notice
commission.
out to go to the planning commission.
No, we sent the notice to the first applicant that the board was going to be possibly reviewing their
And have you heard
special
from
use
them?
permit, and that there would be a public hearing set, and I projected it to be at a certain time, and that I needed to know if they objected, because I think somebody had said that
They did say
they
at the
are.
last thing they were going to pull out of the lease.
Well, somebody else said that, so
I agree.
I put in there
Yeah,
that
the other
if you
applicant
didn't
said they
object
did.
to it, please let me know. I haven't heard from them either way.
Because we didn't want to pull their permit without them knowing it was coming.
Correct.
I'm sorry, what?
When did you let them know?
Couple days after the last board meeting, so a week and a half ago.
Well, it's been more than a week and a half ago. Because the last board meeting was the 13th
It was
of August.
2 or 3 days after the last board
13th,
meeting.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, because it was.
Yeah, which was a
we moved
Tuesday, so it
we
would have been
moved
that
it.
Thursday.
Yeah.
2.5
weeks. Haven't heard anything back,
Yeah.
so.
If you want, I will reach out to them. Just send me the information, and I will have a chat with them.
Well, I don't know if that's what they want. I'm just saying that's what I did.
No, I understand, but you want an answer, there's, I can't guarantee that they won't litigate over the issue. But as of now, they don't have the license, which means they can't operate.
So, just to for clarify, are you
I don't-
saying you wish that we would wait to hear whether they got a license or not before we
No.
moved another
No,
one?
I just want to know, our code says not within 500 feet. We
Correct.
have one that's approved, and we're going to now throw another one up there without fixing the one that's there and going against our code to send another one that violates our code to planning.
The question then will be how, what happens if they, 2 years from now?
Well, that's why we need a sunset law, the sunset code.
Yeah.
So we're in a pickle, and it's where we're at now.
Well, the easy fix to that is we change the reference in terms of special use permits to allow them to expire if they haven't been achieved or met within
Yeah.
X period of time.
Sunset.
Right.
Yeah.
What period of time would anyone like?
12
What's
months.
standard?
Standard? Usually for things like with building codes and that, it's somewhere between 6 months and a year.
Maybe 6 months.
Rich, do you have any thought on this? Sunset law for open special use permits, to have them, if they're not executed, have them expire 6 months or a year?
I think it's a reasonable request from the village to do such. At the time frame, if you were to look at it from a building permit standpoint, is a year. So time frame, as Chris mentioned, 6 to 12 months would be applicable.
Do you have a preference between the two?
You know,
I've written it both ways, between 6 months and a year, so just pick a number.
Can you make it so they have to do like a check-in at 6 months, or is that too complicated?
No, you can put it that they have to
Reaffirm the permit.
reaffirm that they're going to use it and then have it completed within a year.
Okay.
Not
I like
they
that.
start,
I like that too.
but that has to be completed. Because the problem is, and why I've always avoided the starting part is, hi, I just put the shovel in the dirt, or, put a little hole in the ground, I've started. No, you gotta be done.
Well, yeah, it's like your plane departure being on time as soon as it backs up, and then you sit on the tarmac for a few hours, right? Like,
Yeah, that's always fun.
Is that gonna give, I mean,
Check-in, 12-month, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
Check-in, 12-month expiration?
Completion.
Expiration, yeah.
Was that Molly?
I was just saying, it seems to me that the state is taking a long time with these, so would that give them
Well,
ample
you really think
time?
about, they've only done, 180 of them roughly, in a span of well over a year, throughout the entire state.
Right, so it seems like,
They've got thousands.
right, so the likelihood of them getting this within that time period is slim to none, so,
We're aging rapidly. I will have something to everyone before the next meeting so you can
Chris,
schedule a public hearing.
if the first company's lease was voided for their approved location, would that void the special use?
Yeah,
permit?
because at that point, they don't have a location.
So if we can verify that that lease is no longer valid.
But unless, you didn't write to the landlord, you just wrote to them?
I just wrote to them for now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point, Shane. Right, because then it's not us that did it.
Right, it's, they did it or the landlord did it.
Which reduces our legal exposure.
Because they can't just go to another location and use that special.
You'd have to
use
submit-
permit. They would have to
resubmit.
Come back
Correct.
again,
Yeah.
so.
So you want to check with the landlord?
Anyway, we're getting sued over that,
Right?
meddling with the landlord. I'm just asking.
I don't think we should get involved with any of it and follow our code until we know for sure.
But I have a
that
question,
it's happened.
that the whole point of bringing them back in front of the board was to remove their special use permit before giving the other one a permit.
Yeah,
So you still have an issue with that? I just want
I
to make sure I
think-
understand.
I have an issue with all of it. and-
All of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, just telling them we want to remove your permit out of the blue doesn't sit with me.
What you're doing is you're saying, look, you've had all this period of time, it hasn't occurred, we have another application, they can't be within 500, that's why you give
And
them
how will a
an
judge look
opportunity
at
to be
that?
heard.
Will a judge look at that and be like, you guys are in the right, you can cancel their application?
You'll have a legitimate basis for doing it.
Okay.
That's why I said you've got to put them on notice and give them an opportunity to be heard before you do it, because you have the right to pull special use permits. Your code already allows that.
Okay.
well, let's get them in here and have a conversation. Get them on
But in the
notice.
meantime,
And let's
we'll
get
redo
something
the
in the,
code.
yeah, let's get something in the code as well.
Sure.
That sounds
But it could
good.
be a moot point if the address changed,
Yep.
or that no longer exists.
True.
But I'd like to have one in there in the future,
Yeah.
so that we don't get into this bind again.
Yep.
Sounds good. Anything else, Grace?
That's right now.
That's it for tonight.
Let's see, we've got, police fire softball game? How was that?
Who won?
The police union and the fire department organized a softball game for charity over at the, I'm not sure what the field's called, but it's a pool park. It was held a couple weeks ago, and the police did come out on top, and they raised, I think, $3,000. Half of went to the local Boys and Girls Club, half of went to a operation out of Lockport that deals with first responders and PTSD and things like that, for treatment for such. So it was a nice event. I did appear there, and everybody seemed to have a good time.
Good.
Thanks, Chief. And Maureen and I are continuing our negotiations with dispatch over their contract, and we'll let you know when we have some updates on that. That said, can I get a motion to adjourn at 7:52 PM?
Motion.
Moved by Jeff, second.
Second.
Second by Grace. Further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Approved? We are adjourned. Thank you all for coming.
Hey, Ernie.
Is it done?
What, Jeff?